The wind was gentle that afternoon at Santa Monica Pier, carrying the salty scent of the Pacific and the laughter of tourists. But among the joy and sunshine, one cruel moment shattered the peace. A loud, mocking voice echoed across the wooden boardwalk, sharp, cruel, and humiliating. "Move, cripple." The words hit harder than the kick that followed, sending Emily's wheelchair rolling backward. People stopped. Some gasped. Most just stared. And as the young woman struggled to steady herself, her trembling hands gripping the armrests, tears welled in her eyes, not from pain, but from the sting of cruelty. If you believe kindness still matters, if you believe people deserve second chances and the world needs more compassion, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tales. Every story here is a reminder that empathy can still win in a world that sometimes forgets it exists. Emily Bennett was 26, a former dancer whose life had changed in an instant 3 years ago when a drunk driver ran a red light. The crash had taken her ability to walk, her confidence, and, for a long time, her will to be seen. But she refused to let it take her spirit. Every day she forced herself out of her small apartment in Santa Monica, rolled along the pier, and sat by the ocean, sketching waves and people. That afternoon, she had been sketching a group of bikers parked by the pier, their leather jackets gleaming under the sun, their tattoos and laughter reminding her of the strength she no longer felt she had. She didn't see the men coming until it was too late. 3 of them, loud, heavily tattooed, and smelling of beer, were shoving through the crowd, laughing obnoxiously. One was a huge man in a floral shirt, his boots heavy against the wood. They stopped near Emily, blocking her view of the water. She tried to politely maneuver her wheelchair around them, but one of them stepped right in front of her. "Where do you think you're going, sweetheart?" he sneered. When she tried to back away, he laughed louder. "Move, cripple," he barked, and then, without hesitation, he kicked the footrest of her wheelchair. The impact jolted her backward. Her sketchbook flew from her lap, scattering papers across the pier like startled birds. For a moment, there was silence. Even the gulls seemed to stop their cries. Then came the laughter, the sound of cruelty that cut deeper than any physical blow. The man towered over her, smirking, while his friends watched in amusement. Emily froze, her throat tight, her voice trapped behind shame and fear. People around her looked away, pretending not to see. But not everyone. From a distance, the roar of motorcycle engines began to rumble, slow, powerful, and growing louder. The men stopped laughing, glancing around as dozens of bikers rolled closer, their black leather jackets marked with the same insignia Emily had been sketching moments before. The air shifted. Conversations died. The pier became silent again as the motorcycles parked in a tight semicircle, forming a wall between Emily and her tormentors. Leading them was a broad-shouldered man with steel-gray eyes and tattoos running down his arms. He walked slowly toward the bullies, his heavy boots echoing against the wooden boards. He didn't need to raise his voice. His presence alone was enough to command silence. "You think it's tough to pick on someone who can't fight back," he said, his tone calm but laced with danger. The bullies exchanged nervous glances, realizing too late who they had crossed. One of the bikers picked up Emily's scattered sketches and handed them back to her with a quiet nod. She clutched the papers close, still trembling. The leader, known among his crew as Hawk, turned his gaze toward her and softened. "You okay, miss?" he asked gently. Emily nodded, though her eyes glistened with tears. "Good," Hawk said, then turned back to the bullies. "Because now we've got something to take care of." What happened next wasn't violence, it was something far more powerful. The bikers didn't swing fists or start a fight. Instead, they surrounded Emily's wheelchair, blocking her from view, creating a wall of solidarity. One by one, people who had been watching in silence began to clap. The bullies, red-faced and humiliated, backed away. The crowd parted as they ran off, their laughter gone, replaced by fear and shame. As the noise faded, Hawk knelt beside Emily's wheelchair. "I'm sorry you had to go through that," he said softly. "But you should know, you're not alone out here." Emily's tears finally broke free, rolling down her cheeks. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice shaking. Hawk smiled faintly. "You don't have to thank us. Sometimes the world just needs a reminder that not everyone's heart has turned cold." The bikers stayed with her for hours that day. They shared stories about their pasts, their struggles, their second chances. Emily learned that most of them were part of a group called Iron Brotherhood Riders, a motorcycle club known for helping veterans, disabled people, and abuse survivors. Many of them had seen dark times themselves, and helping others was how they found redemption. Hawk, she discovered, was a former Marine who had lost his brother to suicide after years of bullying and PTSD. That's why he refused to tolerate cruelty of any kind. In the weeks that followed, Emily found herself no longer sitting by the pier alone. The bikers became her friends, her protectors, and, in many ways, her family. They encouraged her to share her art online, to use her story to inspire others. Hawk even helped organize an event at the pier, Wheels of Courage, where bikers and wheelchair users rode together to raise awareness for disability rights. The same spot where she'd been humiliated became a place of empowerment and unity. The same pier that echoed with laughter at her pain now rang with applause for her courage. But Emily's transformation wasn't just external. Inside, something had shifted. For the first time in years, she began to believe again, that she was strong, that her life still had purpose, that kindness could still outshine cruelty. The world hadn't changed overnight, but she had. And sometimes, that's enough to change everything. Months later, when a young boy in a wheelchair recognized her from the Wheels of Courage event and told her she inspired him to keep going, Emily finally understood what Hawk meant by second chances. The world can be cruel, but it can also be breathtakingly kind when hearts come together. She had found her tribe, not through pity, but through shared strength. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that there's still good in this world, please don't leave without showing love. Like the video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Tales so more people can witness the power of compassion. Speech balloon special request: comment below with one act of kindness you've seen or done recently. Your story might inspire someone else to do the same. Sparkling heart.